Hello everybody and welcome to tonight's stream. So good to have you join me. Now we are doing something a little experimental tonight, and the reason for that is that a company reached out to me called Monument Studios. And Monument Studios are a small group of brothers, I believe, who wrote music during COVID. I mean, why not? Why wouldn't you want to write music during COVID? They put it together into this website, this package, to play music during events, during your role-playing. And we're looking at it. We're looking at it because it's pretty damned awesome. And I'm going to try and share my screen with you so you can see their website. So this is the website interface where you choose your different pieces of music, which I've done here. I've got 8 different pieces of music, and you can add in some sound effects down here at the bottom as well. I've kind of got some bits and bobs here. But the primary idea is that you can set these, you can set them to the volume that you want them to play at, and then you basically play them during your show. Now we're going to be doing that tonight, and I want you to tell me if the music is too intrusive, because if it is, I'll kill it straight away. But I do think it could add some fun to the situation. So here I go. I'm going to play it now. And you tell me if it's too soft, too loud, or not loud enough that you can't hear it. And I just think, I remember reading Fabled Lands with Enya going on in the background, that wonderful performer. And so whenever I hear Enya, I'm just transported straight back to Fabled Lands. So I thought, well, this is quite a nice idea. So you tell me in chat, yes or no, is it too soft, too loud? Can you actually hear what's going on? And we'll take it from there. We'll take it from there. Now, to tonight's game. Our priest, Delvin the priest. And let me go back to Delvin the priest's character sheet there. So Delvin, the character sheet created by Michael Helverstein, who has worked on this many years ago, and is very gracious enough to say, go ahead and use this again. And I think it's I think it's really great. So we're on page 2 of Cities of Gold. Fabled Lands, if you don't know what Fabled Lands is, it's a choose your own adventure book, and what makes it interesting is that you can walk from one book to another and do things in other books as well. So we're in book number 2. Our priest is turned to the god of Sig the thief. So our priest has become somewhat of a thief. We actually had a little bit of luck, as a matter of fact, with our thief. We managed to get ourselves quite the treasure. So we have 300 coins, we've got lockpicks, we've got ring mail. Life is pretty good unless we get into combat, and then we are in trouble. So that's where we find ourselves. We do have a blessing for thievery, so if we fail a thievery roll, please remind me in chat that we need to re-roll the thievery roll, because we do have that blessing. And so our priest thief, who has no real agenda at the moment other than to survive, finds himself standing outside of the city of Ringhorn. Ringhorn receives goods from all along the Reese River, trading along the coast from Utaku to Yellowport and south to the distant Ancon Konu. It is a very large, bustling city, and we can visit the market, visit the taverns. We've done all of this already. We did that last time. So we get to leave the city, which is 370. 370. Right, so from Ringhorn, you have the option to put to sea. Do we want to become pirates? Not so sure. Not so sure. Do we want to become pirates? I don't think necessarily we do. Where are we now? Completely lost my place. From Ringhorn, you have the option to put to sea, travel upriver, or journey overland. The fare to travel upriver is 5 coins, 5 shards. To travel by sea, you must either possess a ship or you must be willing to pay your passage. Now, if you can see this map directly above me, Ringhorn is that city right in almost the middle of the map on the coastline. We could take the river, the Reese River, which heads all the way north to the Tower of Despair. past one of those big forests up there. So we could take that. We could just take the road that takes us past Castle Ravane. That could be interesting as well. So we've got road north, road east, which would take us to Matricians, or the road west, which would take us probably into book number 3, which would be a bit tricky. And so, right, those are our choices. I'm going to throw them into the vote. So if you are tuning in on YouTube, you'll be able to vote in the chat. So we could go north, which would just take us north. We could go east, or we could go west. The world is our oyster. We can go wherever we choose. We have no particular destination in mind, and the choice is yours. So go ahead, cast your vote, and I can confirm, I do beg your pardon, if we head west, we will be heading into book 3, The Court of Hidden Faces, which is a really tough book. If you think book number 1 is tough, and we died twice there, folks, book number 3 is really tough in terms of just general survival. So north starts to take us inland. We can start to look for places like Castle Ravane, wheat fields, like I said, the Tower of Despair, the Haunted Hills. We could go east, Matricians. We could even go into book 1, which is possible. See what's happening in book 1. Book 1 would be easier for us because we are level 2, we're rank 2. Book 1 is for rank 1s primarily, although that's debatable. And here's the vote. I'm going to have a look now. I need a few more of you to vote. We're a little bit split at the moment. There we go. That'll work. A few more seconds of voting. And to answer Daryl Lieber's question, have you tried the adaptation that's available on the stream? Yes, I have. I thoroughly enjoyed it. As a matter of fact, we promoted it on this channel, and it is a lot of fun. I haven't played it recently. I know they've done some updates and things and expanded upon the contents of the book, which is super exciting. So I'll go and check that out as well. And yeah, so votes are in. I'm going to end the poll now. And we're going north. That's very exciting. Okay, here we go. Let's go north. Turning to page 26. 26. Right, we are leaving the city, which would mean that that needs to happen, and we go here. You are on the road that follows the banks of the Reese River between Castle Ravane and the port city of Ringhorn. Roll 2 dice. Seven. You can all see that 7. An uneventful journey. 258. You can head south to Ringhorn, or north, I should say, to Castle Ravane and beyond. Well, we've already been to Ringhorn, so we're going to continue north, and that is to Castle Ravane, turning to page 25. I think we need to change now. Let's see. The white turrets of Castle Ravane rise above the treetops. From the topmost towers flutters the Black Lion banner of the Ravane clan. This is the stronghold of Varna, Baroness of Ravane. This may be a short entry. If you are 4th rank or higher, turn to 341. If not, turn to 364. Sentries with huge black halberds block your way across the heavy drawbridge. To convince them to let you enter, you must make a charisma roll at difficulty of 12. No, look, I'm not a thieving priest. I'm a priest who deals with thieves, who are looking to repent and share information on where the treasure is that they stole and didn't give back. That sort of thing. I'm really a good person, honestly. Oh my goodness! I'm moving my video. Look at that, 12. We rolled a 12. So just the roll was good enough for us to get through. They believe me. You believe me? I believe me. 315. Castle Ravane is virtually a city in its own right. The outer courtyard is filled with stables, grain stores, pens for livestock, carpentry yards, and a smithy. Nearby, some knights are keeping fighting fit by charging with lances at a straw-filled dummy. Beyond, another line of defences encloses the inner keep. We could visit the shrine to the war god Turnai. We could visit the armory. We could practice some swordplay. We could rob the treasury. We could enter the inner keep, or we could leave the castle. Well, I say, as a wandering priest, it's probably best for us just to work through everything. That way, if we need to find out any information about how to rob this treasury, it might come in handy. 43. Turnai is the god of war. The idol in the shrine depicts him as a grim-faced warrior, jaws rimmed with blood, striding forth to do battle, wielding an axe and a sword. Now here's something we haven't ever done before, and I think we probably should. Arrange for a resurrection. 204. Resurrection costs 200 shards if you're an initiate, or 800 shards if not. It is the last word in insurance. Once you've arranged for resurrection, you need not fear death, as you will be magically restored to life here at the temple. To arrange resurrection, pay the fee and write Shrine of Turnai, Cities of Gold, 227 in the resurrection box. If you are killed, turn back here. Well, 800 gold, we don't have that yet, but it's useful to know that they're charging that much coin for those that have it. So let's leave 315. Got nothing else to do here. So they're definitely making a pretty penny, that much is certain. Visit the armory, 66. Might as well work our way through. The armory of Castle Ravane resounds with the clamour of hammers on anvils. The artisans here provide arms and armour for the greatest knights of Golnir. You can buy top quality equipment or sell anything that you don't need. Well, we don't really have anything to sell. And splint armour, no, chain armour would be better than what we're currently wearing. That's +3. That costs 200 shards. So if we sold the ring mail, we get 180. That would put us in 480, which means that we could potentially buy splint armor, which gives us +4 to our defense. Or alternatively, for 300, well, for 250, we could buy a combat bonus of +1 sword. I mean, it's not as if we are going to get into combat anytime soon, right? So I'm going to put it to a vote. Yes, we look at buying something, one of the two. No, we don't spend our money. So yes, we look at buying it and we'll decide whether it should be the armor or a sword with a combat bonus. No is no. Yes, if only I could take confessional. Confess your sins. Where did you leave the key to the treasury every night, unguarded? You must have done it once or twice. Tell me now. Things like that could be quite useful. Quite useful. Should we convert to Tyranny, the god of war? Our combat is so terrible. I really don't think that we'd be accepted, to be perfectly honest with you. And we've sort of aligned with Sig, and you know the gods don't take it very well when you just chop and change. Let's see how the voices in my head are going. All right, we've got our quorum. We have enough votes. I'm going to end the poll. Thank you for voting. Takes money to earn money. If we don't survive to spend it on, what's the good of having it? I absolutely agree. Well, not a lot of you agree, actually. 56% of you say yes. So now the question is, we are going to spend it. Do we do the armor? In other words, it makes us more difficult to hit. Or do we do the sword? Polls up. Give me your opinion. Combat. With +1, it means we are getting a +3 out of a potential +6. That's what we would be on. We'd be on 3, because we're on 2 at the moment. So we'd be halfway to being a good fighter with a +1 sword. On the other hand, with the splint mail, our defense would be a base of 8. So that means we would have to roll a 6 on 2 dice. Statistically, it would be a lot easier to hit us. Well, it is easy to hit us at the moment. So 4 + 2 is 6. So pretty much anything that the enemy rolls will hit us. So most things wearing armor will have a defense of 10+. Let's put it that way. So think about that when making your decision. No, you don't. You don't have to think about it. It's pretty clear where the voting is going. I'm going to end that poll now because it's pretty much straightforward. 71% say the armor. And so that's exactly what we're going to do. We are going to sell the ringmail armor. Goodbye. And that gives us 180 from the sale of that. And then we are going to buy the splint armor for 400 minus 400. And so now we've got splint mail. Very nice. Okay, so our defense goes up substantially. Right, with that done, turn to 315. Right, practice swordplay, 89. All right, Father, we'll see what you know what to do with a sword or not. That's the pointy thing that you've got strapped to your very fancy new armor there. You join the younger knights for a spot of combat practice. These are friendly bouts, but the occasional injury is unavoidable. Roll 1 die. This is the number of stamina points you lose. Oh! Oh my! Oh, ow! Oh, oudy, oudy, ow! I say, this is not exactly practice if you hit so bloody hard. Roll a die, and if your score is higher than your combat, add 1 to it. Oh, what was that stupid thing you did with the sword again? Just show it to me. There's no ways we can die, so I'm just going to run this for all we can. All right, we lost 3. That's fine. That's fine. 1, 2, 3. We're still alive. Still alive. Come on, statistically. Thank goodness. Combat goes up by 1. Only cost me 8 hit points. Oh. All right. Well, that's better. Look at that. Look at that. We didn't have to spend a bloody penny on the sword. Right. 315. So that's an interesting one. We can come back to this one if we're feeling brave. If we're feeling brave, we can come back. We can come back. Right, the next one is rob the treasury. Is that something that we really want to do? We really want to rob the treasury? Tell you what, let's go to the inner keep first, because I'm assuming the treasury will be there. And let's have a look around at the inner keep. 112. The doorway to the castle keep is guarded by elite knights in gleaming gem-studded armor. They watch you narrowly as you approach, then slowly cross their halberds to bar your path. "What is your business here?" asks one. If you have the title Paladin of Ravane, turn to 250. If not, turn to 273. The guards are not convinced you are important enough to be admitted to the keep. "Has the Baroness summoned you?" they demand to know. "She is very busy." Make a charisma roll at difficulty of 10. Right. So here we go. Charisma difficulty of 10. 6 on the die. Plus 4 is 10. Success. 296. I want to know what this Paladin of Ravane is all about. 296. No, look here. Look. The Baroness needs spiritual counsel, and I am a spiritual priest. You should let me in. Fair enough. The guards are convinced by your persuasive tongue. One of them gestures with his thumb, saying, "Go on in then, before I change my mind." Turn to 342. I think we've got to change our music here. 342. All right. 342. The inner keep of the castle is a mighty fortress with walls several meters thick. Narrow windows admit golden shafts of sunlight into the gloomy hallway. Visit the chapel of the god Elnir. We came this close to worshipping Elnir. Seek out the wizard Estragon. Request an audience with the Baroness. Let us seek out this wizard first, shall we? 21, whoever this Estragon is. You find Estragon in his laboratory, deep under the bedrock of which the castle rests. Crude stone steps wind down into a glimmering darkness filled with strange lights and fumes. Estragon strides forward, holding an alembic which he is heating with incendiary spells. The glow from the chemicals throws his seamed old face into sharp relief against the black backdrop of darkness. Offered to run an errand for him? Or you completed an earlier errand. Well, we haven't completed an earlier one. 542. I have been waiting for you, Estragon says. There is a task you can perform, and in return I'll teach you a little sorcery. If the first box below is not ticked, put a tick in it and then turn to 490. Oh, well, I won't say no to a tick. 490. So far, we've managed to stay alive. I think this is brilliant. Hopefully, touch wood, everything carries on as regular. Right, 490. Here we go. I require a scarab amulet for one of my experiments, says Estragon. Go and find one. When you bring it here, I'll reward you. Turn to 342. A scarab amulet. 342. Just as a priest with absolutely no knowledge of scarab amulets, where would I find one? But Estragon is already back at work and is ignoring your request. If you cannot source a scarab amulet, you do not deserve his attention. Right. So, scarab amulet. I'm going to make a note here. Scarab amulet. Castle Ravane Estragon. Oh, look at that. I wrote Ixel. Castle Ravane. Bring, I suppose I should write there. Bring. Now, where on earth would we find a scarab amulet? The only place I can think of scarab amulets, I don't think Akonu would have scarab amulets. The Great Steppes might have a scarab amulet. Or perhaps in Old Harkuna, the land of the Utukug. It is a huge place. Scarab amulet. I doubt there would be anything there. Nerech might have a scarab amulet. No, I think the Great Plains we might find a scarab amulet. In truth, I have never found where it might be. Well, now we might as well request an audience with the Baroness. So tell me, Baroness, how exactly do we get into your treasury? And no, that's not a euphemism. I just want the cash. Sir de Brumas, the seneschal, takes you into the Baroness's court. She sits in regal splendor on the gilded seat of House Ravane. A gonfalon showing the black lion crest hangs on the wall behind her. Although young and slender, she has the fierce, unflinching gaze of one who is born to rule. Why have you come? She asks. We could undertake a quest, we could ask for a boon, or we could try to assassinate the Baroness. This is going to a vote here, folks. I'm as surprised as you are. Why are these dark voices telling me to assassinate the Baroness, and for whom? So, are we going to ask her for a quest? Are we going to just say, give us a boon? Or are we going to try and assassinate? I mean, I didn't think that was even an option, but suddenly it is. A moment passes as you consider your choice. Scarab amulet. Let's see. I was asked a question. Interesting. The voting. Very, very interesting. Let's see what's happening. Muffindil says, robbing a treasure is one thing. Killing a baroness in a castle full of guards is pure madness, especially with only 5 stamina points. Yes, we will have to rectify that at a tavern as soon as possible. That is for sure. We have our votes. I'm ending the poll. Quest. We ask her for a quest. We've got to go and find a scarab amulet. We might as well get a quest. 733. You wish to serve this noble household? replies Baroness Vanna. In what capacity? Spying on her foes, a diplomatic mission, slaying a monster, making a map, denouncing a traitor, or paying a cash tribute. It's certainly not going to be paying a cash tribute, I'll tell you that much. What are we good at? Scouting, thievery, sanctity. I mean, can't I just pray for you in my thoughts and prayers from time to time? Wouldn't that get me something? Diplomatic mission. Slaying a monster, I think, is right out. Definitely not. Definitely not. Definitely not. Making a map? I suppose we could make a map. No, I think a diplomatic mission. I mean, denouncing a traitor, we don't even know who the hell works for her. All right, let's cast a vote. Give me a sign, oh gods, give me a sign. So, do we want to spy for her? Do we want to be diplomatic? Do we want to make a map? Or traitor? Because cash tribute, we don't have enough cash, I'm sure about that. Votes up. Spying on her, I imagine, would need to be scouting, maybe thievery, some charisma, diplomatic mission, charisma perhaps, maybe some sanctity, scouting possibly, making a map, definitely scouting. Scouting all the way, I would say, actually. Could be a bit of combat. Denouncing a traitor, that's investigation. That might be sanctity, you know. Some scouting. We're denouncing a traitor, we're not actually naming the traitor. Spying is kind of thievish, I guess. Well, let's see. Oh, it looks like we've got a split vote here. I need one more vote, just one more vote. If you can cast a vote, now's the time. Could be a swing vote, that's it. Votes are in, and I'm going to close it up, and I'm very excited by the choice. A diplomatic mission, Your Grace. I feel we are best suited to a diplomatic mission. Somewhere warm and tropical with scarab beetles. If the box above is empty, put a tick in it now and turn to 516. All right, we are getting all the ticks today, are we not? 777. And then turn to 541. Nope, nope, that was the wrong page to turn to. Five one six, all right. I have heard many stories of a strange land called Akatsurai, says the Baroness. Travel to this land and seek out its ruler. Convey my best wishes to him or her, and inquire whether a legate may be sent in order to strengthen diplomatic and trading links. With that, she gives an imperious wave, and Sir de Brumus escorts you out. Where the hell is Akatsurai? All right, here we go. We've got a mission. What does this go to? Ruler. Go to ruler. A cat Ravane. Well, that is a fine mess, is it not? If I look at the map, Akatsurai is in the Sea of Hydras, the Sea of Whispers, or the Unbound Ocean. That's terrifying. I don't even know how the hell we'd get there. Thank you, Your Grace. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. 342. We do pick him, don't we? It's in the opposite direction of the stupid scarab. We must as well leave the keep. 315. Grumble, grumble, grumble. We've done everything else, so we might as well leave the castle. 118. Well, this is a pickle that we find ourselves in. You can travel south to the coast, or venture into the heartland of Golnir. Travel by river costs 5 shards. I don't know. And we've been to Ringhorn. The way I see it, and feel free to voice any opinions you might have. If we are to go to Akatsurai, we need a ship. There's no other way to get there. To buy a ship, we need at least 3 or 4 or 500 shards, money. We don't have that anymore, so we need to go and get it. Sadly, Mr. White, they will not give us any expenses for this. This is to prove ourselves of value, rather than to cost them anything. If we head north from Ravane, there's an inn, if I recall, and if I go to a close-up of the map. Yes, Chard's Inn is north of here. So is Trollius's Inn, that's to the east. Either way, we recover there, and then I would suggest that maybe we head to Wheatfields, or Goldfall, or Delpton, for that matter, all in the Heartlands, in the Endless Plains. See what we can do there, try and raise some coin. I think that's our best bet. So we want to head, take the road north, 304. Right. The road is built of old grey cobblestones, which are now half overgrown with a carpet of rich green moss. Sometimes you pass a patrol of soldiers or a peasant leading his cattle to market. You do not expect any trouble on this well-patrolled stretch of road. Roll 2 dice. 5. An eerie light in the dark. 34. An eerie light in the dark. An eerie glimmer shines between the trees that overhang the road a little way ahead. Venturing a little further, you see in the gathering darkness that an old iron gibbet is set on one side of the road. The glowing light hangs around it like a bubble of marsh gas. Go closer to investigate, or back off and wait till morning. This is a simple vote. Yes, we go in closer. No, we don't. We wait till morning. It's a strange glow, I'll be sure of that. gibbets traditionally had thieves imprisoned in them and they were left to rot and die. So I wonder if perhaps it is something to do with the dead. That would be Nurgle, the god of death, which we are not a follower of. Although I don't suppose Nurgle would mind us if we were to loot that gibbet. It is an interesting one. And if I look at the votes, we're split 50-50. I'll give a few more people a chance to vote, but at the moment, it's very close. Very, very close. But we do have little stamina. Well, perhaps we could go to the tavern, rest up, and then come back. But there is no guarantee that we'll find these strange glowing lights again. Oh, what to do? What to do? Well, the vote is over. Eric Yeager says, here's where we die. No, come on! Come on, let's have a little faith! Let's have a little faith! Going closer to investigate. 57. Uh-oh. If the box is empty, put a tick in it now and turn to 80. I mean, they're not going to make us put a tick in a box and then kill us straight afterwards, right? It's not going to be as straightforward as that, is it? Turn to 80. You meet a figure palely loitering under the gibbet. The hairs on the back of your neck rise when he steps forward and passes his hand right through you. Yes, I am dead, he moans. Wrongfully executed on this gibbet for a crime I did not commit. The real murderer had me framed, but I'll be avenged on him yet with your help. He wears a velvet patch over one eye. Find him and bring me what lies beneath the patch. I'll be grateful. Never think I won't. He vanishes. Shiver passes up your spine. However long ago this crime was perpetrated, the spirit cannot have rest until his tormentor is dead. Gain the code word Bumble. Our first code word. How exciting. Bumble. A man with a velvet eye patch, you say? Well, okay. Look, I mean, we're not dead, so that's a good thing. We've got some very cryptic quests. Very cryptic quests. You were on the road between Castle Ravane and Wheatfields. Yeah, that's about right. Head northeast to Wheatfields, head southeast to the castle, go to blah 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 blah. We're going to Wheatfields, 120. We've already decided. Wheatfields is where all the action's at. I promise you. You come to an inn nestling against a fringe of trees beside a meadow full of flowers. The innkeeper, whose name is Chard, tells you that he does good business. Oh, the merchants who travel between Wheatfields and Castle Ravane are never short of money to spend, or an order to fulfill. Well, I shall also partake of your inn, thank you very much. The knights gave me quite the education. If you have the code word bounty, delete it and turn here. If not, turn to 625. We don't have the code word bounty. 625. shard charges 2 shards a day for board and lodging, and each day you spend here you can recover 1 stamina point if injured, up to your limit. 2? Oh, Samuel Currick, that's very kind of you. Thank you very much. I do appreciate that. Thank you. Wonderful donation there of $10. That's very cool. I love your videos. This is so cool. Well, I'm glad that you're enjoying it. I'm having as much fun, if not more fun, hopefully. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. Right, so we are being charged 2 shards to recover 1 stamina point. We've got to get back 8. That's 16. Minus 16. Alright. But you know what? At least we had the cash. And now we're back on 13. So we're pretty good all around. We've got 3 quests. Have no idea where to go, of course. But it is what it is. So let's see. Right, we are recovered. 189. Once again, a shout out to Monument Studios for supplying the music for tonight. I think we can all agree I think it's adding a little bit to the story, hopefully. You agree with me? And again, if that music's too loud, just let me know and I'll drop it down. Okay, right, where are we? Boom, boom, boom. You soon leave Chard's Inn behind you in your haste to seek fresh adventures. Continue north to Wheatfields 166. An old straight road once used by the legions of Utaku when they marched north to wreak devastation stretches between Castle Ravane and Wheatfields. Now the Utakin are long gone. Grass stalks protrude through the old cobbles, and birds chirp in the trees on either side of the road. Roll 2d6. 8. A storyteller. 247. 447. The storyteller is sitting on a turnstile, regaling the children of a nearby village with his tall tales. Roll 2d8. 6. 472. He tells a tale of the kindly old wizard who fought a little dwarf asleep under a bush. He took the dwarf as his apprentice, but only after a month he woke up to find that the dwarf had stolen a suit of magic armor. This armor was empty, but could still move and fight because it contained an elfin ghost. As long as the visor was never opened, the ghost could not escape, and it had to do whatever the dwarf wanted, the storyteller tells the children. The day is wearing on, and it is time you were on your way. Get the code word Beltane. Interesting. A dwarf and a suit of armor, eh? And that's got something to do with Beltane. 374. You are on an ancient cobbled road. Wheatfields is where we're going, and that's where we want to be, 71. Wheatfields is in the very heart of a fertile countryside known as Golnir. Well, I think that's very nice. You can buy a townhouse here for 100 shards. I could steal one. We do not. We could visit the market, visit the Merchants Guild, visit the Temple of Marka, Temple of Nargil, or leave the town. Well, let's go and have a look at the Temple of Marka. We haven't heard of Marka before. 234. 234. Marka is the dread goddess of disease and famine, who must be propitiated. Propitiated? I've never come across that word before. If anyone knows what propitiated is, or how to pronounce it, propitiated. Anyway, to ensure good harvests. I assume it means worshipped or sworn to in some way or other. Anyway, so there you are. When Marka is angry, the crops are struck with pestilence and people go hungry. Her temple is a high gabled building of dark wood with narrow leaded lights that admit only a dismal gloom to the interior. Well, we're not really after pestilence very much, thank you. We're all full up on pestilence. 257. The Temple of Nargil. The Temple of Nargil here in Wheatfields is decorated with wall carvings showing sheafs of fresh corn.
Most think of Nargil as the death god, explains the priest. But of course he is more than that. In nature, where can there be any rebirth or growth without death first? So there you are. Yeah.
Let's see, we can make resurrection arrangements here. 241. Are they cheaper than Turnai? Well, resurrection is free if you have the title Chosen One of Nargil. We do not. Otherwise it costs 200 shards if you're an initiate, or 600 if not. Good grief. Well, you know, Wheatfields was a bit of a bust. I'm not going to lie. I was hoping for more. So let's leave Wheatfields, 286. Let's see where the road takes us, 286. I mean, it's a bit of a tricky one. Right. Okay, vote time. Vote time. It's probably going to be the last vote of the evening. So make it count. Because I'm at a bit of a loss at the moment. Start a poll. Are we going to go north? Because that's where we could go. I've lost my place now. Where are we? Yes. Are we going to go north into the Endless Plains? I mean, we are looking for a one-eyed man, a dwarf with elven armor, or a scarab amulet. I have no idea where they could be. They could be anywhere. Literally anywhere. So we could go north. We could go to Delpton, which is another little town. I don't remember Delpton at all. Or we could go east, just randomly east, sort of Goldfall way. Goldfall sounds quite nice, actually. If the gold falls, I'm happy to pick it up. I volunteer for that duty. Or we could go south to Matricians, which, well, I mean, it is what it is. So you let me know where we're going. Because the world is our oyster at this moment. Maybe we'll find a scarab in the Haunted Hills. Yeah. Let's see. I mean, I have no idea where to find the dwarf. Maybe in the Forest of the Forsaken? It couldn't be named the Forsaken just because of the dwarf. It'd be nice if it was called the Forest of the Scarab Beetle, the One-Armed Dwarf, and the Ruler of Akatsurai. But I don't think we're going to get that lucky. So... let's do the diplomatic mission. We might encounter that one-eyed dwarf scarab on the road. Well, yeah, absolutely. I mean, Goldfall does sound like the village where there should be gold falling. I feel like if they don't have that, we can sue them and make mega money because they're misrepresenting themselves. But But to get to a Katsurai, we are going to have cash. It's more than 65, I'm sure. And just between you, me, and the Bright Blue Sea, a Katsurai is for level 6 characters. Unless I'm greatly mistaken. And we're only level 2. Admittedly, we are already higher than a level 2 because we've got that extra combat, we've got that extra thievery. But we need to make our money somewhere. Okay, so let's have a look and see what the poll is doing. If you can vote now would be a great time, although it does look like we've got... Okay, we've got our minimum number in, and we're going east. We're hoping to find some fallen gold. 309. The road wends its way past countless numbers of farms, passing through villages where peasants live well on their bountiful harvests. Roll 2d6. A 3. A loathly lady. 475. Ha 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 ha! Ha ha! Oh my goodness. A loathly lady. And I've lost my bleeding place again. A woman of remarkable ugliness is sitting by the side of the road. Most people cross over to the other verge to avoid her, and a few children stop to pelt her with clods of earth until you shoo them away.
Thank you,
she says.
All I now want is a great big kiss.
She has a face like a frog that's been hit with a hammer. Do we give her a kiss, or do we continue on our way? I have no idea, by the way, if she's good or evil or whatever. I just changed the music because the tone has certainly changed. The voice was just the voice. I mean, she could have said, all I want now is a great big sloppy kiss with tongue. La, 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 la. No. Who knows? Anyway, she's just an ugly person. I mean, do you randomly go around kissing ugly people? Well, or hoping people kiss you? No, that's rude. I shouldn't say that. Nonetheless, that's the question. Do we give her a kiss? Oh, look at all of you pure and noble souls. Look at you all voting. All right. I'm going to end the poll there. We've got our numbers. Oh, all right, love. I haven't had much nookie in a while anyway. 651.
What a kind person you are,
she says, clutching your sleeve.
So I'll reward you with a hint. If you go to Castle Orlok, be sure to join the Temple of Lacuna first.
Pulling away, you resume your journey. Oh, all right. Castle Orlok. Lacuna, that's the god of nature. I don't even know where Castle Orlok is. Orlok. Become Lacuna worshipper. Castle Orlok. Is Castle Orlok even on the map? Well, it's not in It's not in Golnir, I'll tell you that much. Oh. There is an abbey of Lacuna just south of the Forest of the Forsaken. Perhaps we should head there. I think we should head there. I know we said southern tip on the map. Oh, there! Well spotted. Well spotted. Methinks we hath a quest, my friends. We travel to the Abbey of Lacuna, become a worshipper of Lacuna, head south, go to Castle Orlok, do whatever it needs to happen in Castle Orlok, rob its treasury blind, and then off we go. It sounds like a plan to me, so that's what we're going to try and enact in the next minus 1.5 minutes. Right, you resume your journey. 35. Let's just see where we end up on 35. You are on the road leading southeast from the market town of Wheatfields towards the monastery of Mulhern. We can head for the monastery, make for the Wheatfields, head southeast or southwest towards the Whistling Heath. I see it there. Or north into the Endless Plains. Well, we want to go to the monastery and then we want to sort of go northish. So maybe we should just go north into the Endless Plains and then zicky across the Rainbow River. So let's do that. Head north into the Endless Plains, 328. And excuse me, we are no longer in Evil. Let's go here instead. The Endless Plains are the breadbasket of Golnir, a vast rolling expanse of fields that gleam in summer like quilts of gold. Pretty whitewashed villages nestle beside lazy streams. The farms are filled with plump livestock. Danger is unknown to the inhabitants of this idyllic landscape. When you are ready to head to fresh pastures, turn to 77. That is not what I expected of the Endless Plains. I was expecting death and destruction. You stand on the windswept Endless Plains and wonder where you should seek your next adventure. No, we know exactly where it is. We want to go to the Abbey of Lacuna on the other side of the Rainbow River to the east. We could head into the Haunted Hills. We want to search for the Tower of Despair. No. We want to head towards the Reese River. No. So we only have the option of going due north or heading into the Haunted Hills. So we're going to go to the Haunted Hills, 305, and then hopefully pop out. I'm just eager to see where we end up. The Haunted Hills are virtually uninhabited, except for will-o'-the-wisps, monsters, and a few mad outcasts. Roll 2 dice to see what you encounter. 9. Oh. Outlaws, 419. You are ambushed by a band of outlaws in wolf pelt jerkins. They jump up from behind a ridge. You see at a glance that they far outnumber you, but they make no move to attack. Their leader signals for his men to lower their crossbows before scrambling down from the ridge to speak with you. No offence, he says with a grin, but one lone wanderer isn't worth the trouble of robbing. Maybe he'll think differently if he could see inside your money pouch, or perhaps they are really put off because you look too tough to handle without casualties. See if you can impress them by making a thievery roll and a charisma roll, both at difficulty of 13. Alright, here we go. Charisma first. That's a success. 14. Thievery. 8 plus 4 is 12. Failed 1 roll. 519. After a friendly chat around their campfire, you settle down with the outlaws overnight and make ready to travel on the next morning. You recover 1 stamina point if injured. It is only after you have gone several miles that you think to look in your belt pouch. You find that all your money is there. No, not all of it. A single shard has been taken. You smile and close the pouch, and people say there is no honor amongst thieves. That's fair. 172. I just want to get out to where we're going. East 30. You are in a very broad valley of the Rainbow River. Close to the riverbanks, fertile soil means that there are many villages. Up on the wooded valley slopes, you see only the occasional stone-walled croft. A peddler tells you that the countryside hereabouts has an eerie reputation. Well, let's stay close to the river, 303. You come to a pool at the bottom of a waterfall. Here, a fine spray hangs in the air like sparkling mist. The longer you look at it, the more you imagine you can see dancing figures outlined in the mist. Above the roar of the waterfall, you seem to hear soft voices calling out to you. 303. That's where we're ending tonight, folks. Page 303. And what an adventure we've had today so far. Got lots of quests. Eric Yeager, you pointed out we could have re-rolled that thievery. Yes, you're absolutely right. Bah humbug! I completely forgot. But that's okay, I think everybody did. And it worked out all right in the end anyway. So not much to be sad about, I don't think. I think the charisma one was the one that we got really lucky on. So there you are. There you are. And so that brings us to the end of tonight. Thank you all for tuning in once again. Did I write 33? Page 303. Thank you for spotting that there, Mech. I appreciate that. And so a big thank you to you for watching all the way through. If you like the show, remember to hit that like button or subscribe if you're not already a subscriber to the channel. And we'll see you again next week, Tuesday, for the waterfall. Do we stay and listen to those voices, or do we leave? It's an interesting one. I'm not sure what to do, really. Anyway, until we see you next time, thanks for watching, and I wish you and yours the happiest of gaming.